First few rides, I typically ride them in a halter. Um, Seems like I take a lot of brace out of them by not making any mistakes. And then if they go to grab their butt or hump up a little bit, if I don't make any mistakes taking hold of them, they seem to just come along better when I do finally go to the snaffle. And it seems like most everybody sends me a colt that's never had their teeth done. So I'm not in a big hurry to go to the snaffle. And a lot of times I just don't. I just stay in some sort of hackamore or something of that nature. There we go. I've got a dentist on speed dial that he comes up here once or twice a month and knocks out all these wolf teeth for me and stuff. But I try to keep everything pretty simple here. I need to know how to go, and I need to be able to get them flexed around and get them stopped. And it seems to keep everything simpler for me and simpler for most of these colts. And if I spend a little time getting them flexed around here, that's kind of my only control I really need for these first few rides. But being as I only got a few days, I imagine that I'll spend a little more time going into the hack and maybe driving some more. I used to drive a lot of these colts, but being as folks leaving with me so long, kind of take my time. You know, you sweaty little rascal. You know, I'll keep covering that quite a bit as we go along. It's kind of my only emergency brake or control I'll have, so I try to take quite a bit of time and make sure that I can get them flexed around there. What's that? Yeah, it is. Oh, start adding a little direction. There we go. Pretty savvy, ain't ya? Pretty savvy. Got you freed up pretty good, huh? Oh, I'd say she's about ready to saddle. Pretty quiet little thing. I keep thinking of things to say, but I feel like I'd be repeating everything every Colt starter's ever said and every Colt starting video I've ever watched. I'm just spending a little time making sure she's comfortable with this. When I do saddle these Colts, I saddle them 3 or 4 times the first time. And by the time I've got 4 or 5 rides, I should have 8 or 10 saddles on them. And I attack it until it's not an issue anymore. But I like to do it pretty often and make sure I've gone over everything. And if I've gone over it all now, then it's not something I run into later on. And I'll kind of check on these feet a little bit, but never really making them an issue. But I spend a little time getting a little further and further down that leg. Pretty soon I'm just holding their feet, seems like. I try not to make anything an event. I just want to kind of slip around, and pretty soon they're good about everything I want to do before they even know it. And as time goes on, it just seems they train themselves to just be quiet and tolerant of whatever I kind of throw at them. With exceptions, there's not all that way, but it seems like a lot of these good ones are. Hopefully, I've done my homework a little bit with that pad and the flag and everything. That by the time I go to chucking that heavy saddle up there, I don't got to wave it at them for 5 or 10 minutes. But I've rode ranch horses that are 15, 16 years old, and they still shift the saddle. And I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if I'd have fixed them if I'd have started them when they were young, but I've got it in my head that maybe I would have. I just want to cover these things a lot. Most of the people I'm riding these colts for, they're not cowboys. They don't necessarily enjoy riding these outlawed horses that a lot of the guys in my part of the country ride. So I try to make them as quiet as possible. Make sure just about anybody can handle them. I was raised on an outfit right on Gila County, Arizona, and it is rough country and full of lion hunters and cowpuncher type guys that typically ride pretty rough stock and mules, and they probably all stick their nose up at me now the way that I start colts opposed to the way that we started them when I was a kid. So I'm kind of trusting that I've done my homework and spent time getting her worked and desensitized to what everything that this saddle's going to throw at her. I'm going to let her kind of deal with it on her own here. I don't like to have too much control or be in the way, especially if I spend all that time teaching her to come to me. When they first get this saddle and kind of have their first little panic about it, I like to be somewhere else and out of the way and let them kind of handle it on their own. I'll kind of grab me a weapon and get over here out of the way. Like I was talking about earlier, I don't like to make an event out of this stuff. If I went to flagging and attacking her right now, I'd probably make it more traumatic than it ought to be. This is a little problem she can work out on her own, and I'll help her out here in a minute. Spooky. She thinks she's an outlaw. You're a better looking animal under saddle, ain't you? Check my outfit here, make sure that she's not shook it loose. It's a little crooked, but it'll ride. Off that other way, sister. Here we go. Getting some grease back in the wheels. I'm not asking her for her life when I'm asking her to move off. I want to make sure every time I cluck, they go somewhere. The worst thing to me is when I get on their back and I cluck and they stand there like they don't know what it is I'm asking. I just try to really go over that a lot. That when I cluck, it means go forward. And it's a lot less spanking and moving them around. But oh, a nice filly. Got a little life to you. Started one of her half brothers a couple days ago when we tried to make this video, and it shut off at 30 minutes, so it didn't get me riding him. But he's a little bigger and a little stouter than she is, and maybe a little wilder eyed. But he didn't buck at all. He was real free moving, and it was a good first ride, good deal. But it's probably a blessing in disguise that he was almost too gentle of a colt maybe for this video, and that was maybe one of the first times that I ever said, boy, this one's a little too gentle. Oh, cool, we get to fix something. She's been saying the right answer about everything. Ooh. She's not trying near as hard. Can't really hold it against her. She's getting a little tired. I might just catch her eye and give her a little break, and then we'll pick back up here in a minute. Just give her a break for a second.